to the historic town of Washington, Louisiana. Celebrating 300 years of rich history, Washington is the third oldest settlement in Louisiana, which was founded in 1720 and incorporated in 1835. It's the 19th century's largest steamboat port, which lies between New Orleans and St. Louis. The population was about 964 at the 2010 census. It is part of the Opelousas-Eunice Micropolitan Statistical Area. Here lies the old Washington Festival grounds, which was previously named Festival du Cordon Bleu. This is where the annual Catfish Festival was held for many years, with the last festival held in 2018. The Washington Festival began in 1986. Activities such as Zydeco and R&B music, native crafts, antiques, food booths, arts and crafts, and catfish cook-offs on Sundays. Here's the only Family Dollar store that Washington has. And right across from that lies Washington Community Center. This is a place where citizens meet here for coffee and spend time together or debate about local politics. It's also served as a rental building for public gatherings for a fee where reservations are made through the town hall. The community center once housed Dixon Family Clinic, which is no longer operational. Washington also has a little sweet shop. This little sweet shop is a place where you can get sweets, cakes, foods. You can also call to order your cakes. It's another place where some of the children after school go to get sweets, foods, and drinks. The Historic Art Gallery, which is housed in an historic church. The works of 7 artists, paintings of Louisiana's landscape can be viewed here. This is one of the signs that tells us where we can go to the Technical Communication Educational Center. Political signs. We'll go to, that's another sign leading to the Old Schoolhouse Antique Mall. A lot of historic buildings and abandoned properties. As we go up this hill, this is St. John's Episcopal Church. This is one of the churches here in the town of Washington, Louisiana, which also has the Washington Garden Club headquarters. It's another political sign, stop sign. More signs tells you speed bumps are ahead. Some of the community homes. This is the Antique School Mall, which people still meet here to sell their antiques. Sign tells you where you can turn in. This old antique mall is open from 9 to 5, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this has been here many, many years in the town of Washington. This is Amazon Baptist Church. It was rebuilt in 1957, renovated and bricked in 1979. This is one of the Baptist churches that is here in the town of Washington. Another Baptist church here in the town of Washington is Shiloh Baptist Church, which was rebuilt in 1972. The church has an educational building also that was donated in the year of 2002 by attorney and Mrs. Aaron Harris and children in honor of Mr. and Mrs. Edward Harris Sr. One of the schools that Washington has is a Washington Vocational Center. This is a career and technical educational center where grades 9 through 12 students attending high school can come in and have a trade. All right, some of the trades are refrigeration, carpentry, cosmetology, oil and gas production, welding, post-start. There's about 10 teachers with a ratio of 18-to-1 students. This is the Washington Recreational Center. The Recreational Center is located in the heart of the town of Washington. It's used as a recreational building for parties and community events. Next to the building is the Narcotics and Investigational Division, which is no longer used now. Here, children from the neighborhood come here, which is called a slab, and they have a game of basketball. So this is one of the recreational areas for the children, which needs some improvement. This is one of the stores that used to be functional in Washington, which sold different type of groceries and meats, drinks. It's no longer functional. This is Savannah Sports Grill, which is the only club located in Washington, Louisiana. No longer functional right now, temporarily closed due to COVID. Main Street Grocery is another store that's located here in Washington. It was founded by Rodney Doones, who was raised and born here in the town of Washington. Passed away at the age of 47 in 2003. His home was next to the store where his wife currently is living. The store is currently owned and ran by her. They are known also for their Sunday barbecue lunches. Throughout the day, children come here for food, snacks, and drinks. This is one of the wood stores here in Washington, where they sell cypress wood. This is one of the old antique homes that was once functional as a hospital back in the Civil War, owned by a family of Miss Nickerson, who is currently deceased. These are some apartments that were built by Judge Alonzo Harris. They are located in the heart of the town of Washington. These apartments are located parallel to Corsical Street in Washington. Speed bump signs. It's Washington Manor Apartments. These apartments are rented to the elderly. These apartments are located on West Vine Street in Washington. It's one of the Washington Towers. As we go up this hill is called Cedar Hill, which is located on Vine Street. This is the Cedar Hill Cemetery, which has been here for decades. This is one of the cemeteries located here in the town of Washington. The property was donated by Judge John Moore, the former mayor of Washington, Louisiana, John Kirk Swallow. He was the mayor of the town of Washington for 30 years. It's been one of Washington's historic cemeteries since the 1700s. Here's some of the homes in the neighborhood in one area of Washington, Louisiana. Some buildings that are abandoned. One-way signs. This is Curry Street, which is the other side of Cedar Hill Cemetery. Washington's fire station. Washington's fire station is located on Cedar Hill Drive. Or I should say parallel to the Grand Prairie Highway in Cedar Hill. This is Magnolia Ridge, which is private now. It's no longer open to the public. The plantation was built in 1830 by Judge John Moore. It's the home of a historical Prescott home built in the 1820s through the 1830s. This was once used as a walking exercise trail. People would come here to take pictures. It would serve as a headquarters to both Confederate and Union forces during the Civil War. Now it's a private residence. Southern Classical 2.5 stories fronted by a 2-story gallery, which is located far back. It's on private property, so I can't really visually show you the home itself. It's owned by Magnolia Ridge Cemetery as well, which is located on the plantation, which I can't visually show either because of the property being private. Magnolia Ridge is approximately 60 acres. It's located on West Dejon Street in the town of Washington. And some of the homes in the town of Washington. Everything is pretty much in the neighborhood. All the businesses, cemeteries, stores. This is another sign, the Boapalusis. Here is Citgo Station. That's one of the stores located here in the town of Washington. In the front of us is the museum. The Washington Museum and Tourist Center was built with brick salvage from the Plonsky Opera House and store, which burned in 1902. Hours of operations Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is located on Main Street in the town of Washington. This is one of the pharmacies, pretty much the only historic pharmacy here in the town of Washington, located on Main Street. Fully functional. Main Street has most of the antique buildings here. This is a hair place, a barber shop. La Belle Saison, which is a French antique banquet hall, or Wolf Antique Banquet and Reception Hall, named after Leon Wolf, is a place where people come to have receptions after weddings or parties here on Main Street in the town of Washington. This building has been here for many, many years. Main Street brick commercial buildings that still exist maintain their 19th century ornamental storefronts. It's another one of Washington's antique buildings, which is located on Main Street. This building is for sale. It's no longer functional. Next is the Washington State Bank. That's been here many years also on Main Street in the town of Washington. This building is the old post office located on Main Street. And here's the new post office. So Washington has had some upgrades in this antique town. Across from the post office is Cafe Corda Blue. Cafe Corda Blue was once housed as an old store courthouse. The name of the courthouse was Swallow's Hardware Store. This building was dedicated in the year of 2019. Also located on Washington's Main Street. Here's the little portable for Med Express, located on Main Street in Washington. Some of the abandoned buildings in Washington. Located on Carsco Street in Washington. Here's the old park grounds in Washington, formerly called Memorial Park. This property was once used as a recreational park and was named after Jake Jubert Sr. Over 30 years of his dedicated services to the town of Washington. This area has no street name. As you can see, most of the street signs are down in Washington, which makes it difficult to tell you which streets we're on. There are stop signs, but no street names. Another home located in Washington, Louisiana, which is located on West Hill Street. And this is the another skate park located here in Washington, Louisiana. This skate park is where they can come and use their skateboard, which is a very small skateboard park where the children can come. Here's another Catholic church in the heart of the town of Washington on East Moonville Street. This Catholic church is located in the residential area of Washington. This is the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church, which was established in the year of 1854. St. Joseph Family Center, which is an addition to the church. There's another water tower in the town of Washington. Has about 3 of them. It's one of the salons also on the same street in the residential area of Washington. The home next to it. This is the old Doucette Auto Sales, which is no longer in business. Right across the street is the Washington Library. It's located on Main Street. Library on Delilah Jackson. Library is closed on Sundays and Mondays, but is functional from Tuesday to Friday. This is Washington's police station. Police station is located on Veterans Memorial. These are some of the police cars that park across the street from the police station. Also next to the police station is the Town Hall of Washington, also located on the same street right next to the police station. Washington Town Hall has meetings that are held here. It's used as a voting facility during election time, and people can pay their water and gas payments here. Here's the historic town of Washington. Trolley, which was settled into in 1720. This trolley is also located right across the street from the police station. This is the front area of the Washington's Town Hall. Next to Washington's Town Hall is Dr. Patrick Gillespie's office, who is family practice. He's also an emergency room physician. Dr. Patrick Gillespie. He's affiliated with Opelousas General Health System, as well as Mercy Regional Center. Dr. Patrick Gillespie graduated from Louisiana State University School of Medicine in New Orleans in 1990. This used to be Joe Mesh's Mobile Services and Towing, which is no longer actively functional. This building is located on Main Street in Washington. Steamboat Warehouse. Steamboat Warehouse, which was founded in the built in 1830. The warehouse is built on Bayou Coeur de Bleu, and it serves as a reminder of the town's good times. It is now a renowned restaurant that attracts visitors from all over. It serves a variety of delicious foods. These are the Steamboat Cottages. This is the town of Washington, which was built over Bayou Coeur de Bleu. Willie's Campground. This is Willie's Campground, which is historic and private property. This is also along the Bayou Coeur de Bleu. It's a 6 pet friendly site. Campers can have picnics outdoors on the bayou. There's zydeco and live music also available for campers here. Willie's Campground is located on Main Street in the town of Washington. Also on Main Street is another Disselwood Boy Scout camp, which is no longer functional, which is in the back part of Washington, where I can't really visually show you. Another building that was housed as a station at one point in Washington that's no longer functional. As we pull further, this is the Washington Elementary that's located also on Main Street in Washington, Louisiana. Here, kids from pre-K to 8th grade attend here and then move on to a high school outside of Washington, Louisiana. The school educates about 147 students. Student body is 93% majority African Americans and is located on Highway 10. Next is the historic American Legion building, post in Washington, number 209. This is was erected in the memory of Lieutenant J.J. Newland, a graduate of Washington High who was killed in action in France in November of 1918. This area is located on Main Street in Washington, Louisiana. Further back, behind the American Legion, is the James Scott Memorial Park. As you can see at the park, it's really not maintained right now for children to come to this park area. Last known mayor of the town of Washington was James Olivier, but has currently resigned due to health conditions. Former Mayor Joseph Pete served about 8 years as Washington's mayor, and now we have acting mayor Dwight Landreneau, who's a resident of Washington, Louisiana, and was signed in by Judge Alonzo Harris in January 2020. This is down Main Street, all the antique areas. This is also where annually there's a parade that used to follow the festival ground whenever the Catfish Festival was held here in Washington, Louisiana. This is on the side of the Sitco, which is St. Andrew Veterans Memorial. Construction going on. Ardoin's Grocery Market, which is closed on Sundays. Total Washington has about maybe 3 stores here in the area, which is also in a residential area in Washington. On St. John Street, there are slow children at play, speed bumps. No children are out today due to the rain and the weather. Pretty much a quiet area in Washington. No dumping signs. This is another area that may need a little improvement. An antique vehicle, which was the fire station vehicle at one point. There's speed limit signs along the road. Another neighborhood area in Washington. This is the Blue Star Memorial Highway, which is a tribute to armed forces that have defended the United States of America. This is sponsored by the Washington Garden Club in cooperation with the Louisiana Garden Club Federation and Louisiana Department of Highways. These are in love and memory of fallen comrades in all foreign wars, sponsored by Jasper Nealon and the Washington Garden Club. This area is located at the entrance of Washington. On St. Landry Veterans Memorial Drive. This is another area in Washington where people live. Project homes, no one's out at the moment, but lots of children are outside playing here. Families get together, cook, visit with each other. This is also located at the entrance of Washington on Veterans Memorial. Low-income housing developments. These homes have been here for many years.